The Winchester Mansion is undoubtedly the most puzzling and eccentric landmarks in the world. For those unfamiliar with the Mystery House, this is a historic landmark located in San Jose, California, that was once the personal residence of Sarah Lockwood Pardee Winchester, the widow of William Wirt Winchester, and heiress to the vast majority of the Winchester repeating arms fortune. Unfortunately, tragedy befell Sarah in 1866, and her infant daughter Annie died during childbirth. The child suffered from marasmus and died within a month of her birth. The couple was devastated and withdrew from society, with Sarah remaining secluded for nearly a year. 15 years later, in March of 1881, her husband was taken from her by tuberculosis. Soon after her husband's death, Sarah left their home in New Haven, Connecticut, and moved out west to San Jose. There, she bought an 8-bedroom farmhouse and began what could only be described as the world's longest home renovation, stopping only when Sarah passed on September 5th of 1922. There are staircases that lead to nowhere, amongst many other designs that are an architectural wonder to say the least. There's an ever-growing rumour that Winchester built her house in its strange maze-like manner to confuse and keep spirits from harming her. It was reported that she had workers building 24 hours a day and 7 days of the week for almost 38 years. This gargantuan house features 10,000 windows, 2,000 doors, 160 rooms, 52 skylights, 47 stairways and fireplaces, 17 chimneys, 13 bathrooms, and 6 kitchens. Built at a price tag of the $5 million in 1923, or $71 million today, this would have made Sarah one of the richest women in the world at that point in time. There has been a lot of speculation as to why construction was never ending. One myth around her decision to move from the East Coast to California are thought to have originated from author Susie Smith in her book Prominent American Ghosts, published in 1967. In Smith's versions of events, Winchester visited a medium in Boston named Adam Coombs, who told her that she and her family were being haunted by the ghosts of people killed by Winchester rifles, and that she must construct a house for those ghosts, and she must never complete the project until the day she died. Whilst the newspapers declared that the reason that the construction was ongoing was that Winchester feared she would have bad luck if the construction would stop. This is something they assumed due to her lack of interaction with neighbours. This theory eventually grew into stories that she believed she would die if construction stopped. But what the media didn't know at the time is that Sarah's need to isolate was due to her rheumatoid arthritis. This left her hands and feet disfigured, limiting her ability to walk and write. The most likely theory is that the San Francisco earthquake of 1906 caused her to stop construction on her home, which is why we see doors and stairs that lead to nowhere. It remains a mystery as to what motivated a well-educated socialite to dedicate her life to building the world's most bizarre mansion. I guess no one will ever know the true story apart from Sarah herself. It's been said that visitors and tour guides claim to have experienced cold spots, footsteps, cooking smells, odd sounds, whispering, doors and windows slamming, and feelings of being watched. Investigator Joe Nickel explains that they could be the result of confirmation bias and suggestibility due to publicity and rumors that the house is the most haunted house in the United States. The official Winchester website claims that the mansion is prone to residual hauntings. In this type of haunting, a spiritual playback is stuck on repeat. A moment from the past is played back over and over again, like a video on loop. The events played back may be traumatic or life-changing to the person who experienced them. or they could be routine tasks the person performed many times. Most commonly experienced in the grand ballroom in the chilly basement of the estate, these hauntings involve the famous wheelbarrow ghost working on the fireplace, pushing a wheelbarrow full of ash or coal. The worker on the far right, known as Clyde, is known to be a popular resident at the Winchester estate. The website also explains that intelligent hauntings have been reported. In this type of haunting, there seems to be a consciousness behind the paranormal act, and the spirit is attempting to interact with the living world. Usually, they are no more than gentle tugs on shirts or skirts during tours, but longtime maintenance worker Denny reports that one morning, after entering the water tower, he heard the patter of footsteps above. He ascended to let the trespasser know the 3-story structure was off limits, but the footsteps always seemed to be one step ahead of him and one floor above. His search culminated on the roof with no one in sight. Do you think these stories exist to merely entertain excitement, or could there be some validity to them?